Welcome to the Brownsville Minute, a community-conscious conversation and a platform that provides information, wellness, love, and unity all on a digital platform. And our goal is to try to make sure that our community residents are informed, conscious, and that we are connecting the dots on a virtual platform. The Brownsville Minute is designed for everyone. Please join us with the Brownsville Minute. Well, hello there, wonderful people. We're back. We are back for another episode of the Brownsville Minute. I am super excited to have you join us today for another episode. But you know, when I'm here, I can tell you that we are not doing this alone. I have the distinct honor of having someone come to the table and really just talk about some of the work that is going to be impactful and happening within Brownsville. My name is Anita Pierce, and I get the opportunity to be able to share this space with you as a member of the community, but also as a community stakeholder, but also as a person who really wants to share information. I am the owner of 11375, which is a business consultancy that serves as business matchmakers for community residents and business owners as well. I'm excited to present to you today that we have the opportunity to be able to share information about the happenings and things that are going on within our community, and wanted to be sure that you are always on top of whatever's happening and take advantage of the resources that exist deeply within our community, East Brooklyn, but specifically for Brownsville. I get the opportunity to be able to share in this platform today with someone who you may know, and if you don't know, you should know, is someone who has taken on the district by storm. We have the opportunity to be working with and speak with today our proud community superintendent, Dr. Khalek Kirkland. And why I am so excited is because of the rich experience that Dr. Kirkland brings to our district. Has a significant amount of experience within the educational spectrum, very, very educated, but also as a Morehouse alum. So that's pretty amazing to see that that is now entering into our space of Brownsville. And so without further ado, because I know that you definitely want to see more of me, but I'll be back, I promise. I want to welcome to the table Dr. Kirkland. Hi, Dr. Kirkland. And while we're waiting for Dr. Kirkland to join us, we are going to, there he is. I see you. Hi, Dr. Kirkland.
How are we today?
I'm amazing.
Good. Well, I'm super excited to be here on the Brownsville Minute. I want to start off by giving you kudos. I am all about African American women business owners and supporting them in any way that I can. And you're doing justice to the Brownsville community, so you should be commended. So I thank you.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I want to jump in because you have an extensive background, not only just well educated, but you are from the house, Morehouse. I saw that, which is pretty dope and amazing. Um, can you tell us a little bit about like something that we don't know that's in your bio that you want to share?
Hmm. Um, Something that you don't know that's in my bio, that's not in my bio.
Hmm.
I am attempting to build a legacy in the Kirkland home with Morehouse men.
Mm,
So you talked about Morehouse, and I love everything about Morehouse. I graduated from Morehouse. My younger brother graduated from Morehouse, and
wow.
now my son is a junior at Morehouse College, majoring in engineering. And let's hope that he's not on the 7-year plan. But I can't afford to be paying for 7 years. But yes, so I'm trying to build a legacy, a rich cultural legacy of sending the Kirkland family to things like Morehouse and Spelman and Clark Atlanta University, things of that nature. I got so much out of it, and I think that I would want that same experience for my own children.
And for those who are not aware as to why I'm like beaming, I am not an alum of any of the phenomenal HBCUs. I wish I would have gone that route. But I want to tell you that there's a rich history when you do decide to enter into college, that the experience from HSBCUs is it's just a vibe. So, for those who are considering going into the college experience, do not forget to check off, or look into the HSBCU experience. It is so amazing. I had so many friends who I would go visit and hang out with, and it's a totally different experience. That's all. I didn't go. Dr. Kirkland went, but I could just tell you from my perspective, it's a vibe. So think about it.
Agreed.
So I wanted to jump into you are now the um, newly proud community superintendent for District 23.
Mhm.
Would you be able to just give us some insight first as to, because most people may not know exactly what that role entails, what do you do, and then let's unpack a little bit about what your vision is and your role.
Okay. So the role of community superintendent. So I like to say that I am the proud superintendent of District 23, which covers all of Brownsville. And we have 23 schools in Brownsville. And I think that we need to be very clear that most of my schools are 3K to 8. We do have one 6 to 12 school. That's the Eagle Academy. But that's the only high school in our district. So that's I guess that's my scope of work. My responsibilities is to support the principals, period. I'm not trying to be the principal of the school. I am supposed to support their vision and their action plans. And that means sometimes waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, answering a question, or being on a community education council at 6 p.m., or going to a basketball game at 7:30 p.m., but just anything and everything to support the vision and mission of each of our principals. And they are quality educators who really do want the best for their scholars. And that's what I'm here for. So my vision for the district is really simple. I have a bag here for a prop. Dunkin' Donuts bag, even though Dunkin' Donuts is not sponsoring this, but anyway. So imagine if I placed every classroom in the district inside of this bag
Mhm.
across all 23 of our schools. And I shook the bag up and I took out two classes. And the first one is going to be for KJ, and the second class is going to be for Kennedy. I'm going to ask you the question, who do you think KJ and Kennedy are? And you're going to say, my own children.
Right.
Would be correct. And my logic says that if those classes are not good enough for KJ and Kennedy, then they're not good enough for any child in Brownsville.
Mm.
Um, so that's the vision. And our mission is to increase ELA scores, English language arts, increase math scores on state exams, and decrease absenteeism. We could do a yeoman's job inside of each and every classroom. However, if the children are not present, then we have an issue. So those are the three things that we're working on now. It does not mean that there are not 15 other important things, but that is what I like to call keeping the main thing the main thing.
So curious, right? What does that look like so just listening to what you said, what does that look like in terms of experience, right? Because each school has their own flavor that they're adding to it. But so for a young person, it's probably not called 327. So I'm a product of PS 327. It's probably called um the Dr. Roseby English School
Mhm, mhm.
now.
You're correct.
What does that experience look like from those who enter into school in that school versus another school on the other side of Brownsville, as an example, to just provide more clarity to the parents who are listening?
Yeah, so I'll start off big and then go small.
Mhm.
So parents, in my understanding, in my years of experience, are looking for three things when you think about a school. Number three, they want a school where someone truly cares for their child. And if the child had a stomach ache, if the child had a loss in the family, the hamster ran away, that someone would care for that child as if they were their own. The second thing that they want is for that child to learn something every day. So to be smarter than when they came into the school. And they should be excited about this great thing that they learned in history class. So this easy way to do a math problem and now being able to show it off. And then the first thing that parents want is safety. They want to know that when they kiss their child goodbye and they watch that child go into the classroom or into the school building, that that child is safe. And we take that for granted, but parents definitely want that. So putting those three things aside, I believe that the culture of a building is very important, and that changes from school to school. You shouldn't expect for the culture at a 3K to 8th grade building is going to be the same as a 6 to 12, right? We want to make sure that students are excited that they're coming to school because they know that this school is doing something special that they enjoy, whether or not that be dancing, performing arts, the hands-on science experience. Remember, Brownsville has a number of different types of children that attend the school. So we need to make sure that we're doing something that is unique at each and every one of the schools. And a lot of that starts with the leaders. So I want leaders to be excited about what it is that they're offering children. So if you're excited about the arts and you love the arts, then guess what? Then that's going to come out and other students and families are going to be also excited about the arts. If you're excited about the sciences, then other students are going to be excited about that. If you're excited about what they call PBLs, project-based learning, and you don't want to just sit at a desk the entire time, you want to move around, then that school should be able to do that for that particular child. So what we're trying to do is make sure that our schools are what does it call it? It's talking themselves up, because we have a lot of great things going on in our respective schools, but we got to make sure that we're talking about that we're publicizing what's special and unique about 327 that might be different from PS 41.
I had a chance to participate recently in a career day, and it reminded me of when I was in public school, how you would have different individuals who have, they're in specific careers. I just happen to be a business owner, and I thought it was just phenomenal to see. I spoke with grades 3 and 5. There was two separate classes that I was introduced to, and they were so. It just brought like the best thing out that I felt that I can do for that day. So I want to just pivot a comma just a little bit. And one of the things that I really believe is in community, and that we all can do our part to help our children. What can we do as community partners, mothers, aunties, uncles? Like, what can we do to holistically to help to support the goals that you are working on for the school district?
Um, I have three things that immediately come to mind. I'm really glad that you asked. The first thing I tell people is that our teachers are going above and beyond every day. And what I would suggest, and this is something very simple, I would suggest that individuals go buy Dunkin' Donuts. We keep talking about Dunkin' Donuts, that's fresh in my mind, but go buy Dunkin' Donuts, buy a dozen donuts and a box of Joe, and just simply go to the main office and say, you know what, on behalf of Anita Pierce, I'd like to just have somebody take this to the teachers' lounge, and then just walk away. Okay, good. And that would be something that you could do for teachers. For the principal, who is answering 18,000 emails, dealing with parent concerns, student concerns, the whole nine yards, and responsible for everything from sunup to sunrise, I would suggest stopping by your local bodega, buying maybe a small bouquet of flowers, maybe a ginger ale and a bag of Lay's, and maybe a Snickers. I like Snickers too. And just say, you know what, on behalf of me, I just want to give you a little mental break, and I want you to take this. Mm-hmm. Then for the students, what I would suggest is that you go out, buy a book, preferably a book on Amazon that has a black or brown child on the cover. And I would ask that same principal, remember the one that you gave the flowers to from the local bodega? And you would ask, you know what, do you mind me reading this book to a class? And the reason why I'm very specific about a black or brown child on the cover is because far too often our children never see themselves in books, either as the protagonist or the antagonist. So I think that that's very, very important. And then I would go back to the school, back to that same principal that you gave those flowers to, maybe come with another bottle of ginger ale, and say to them, you know what, I'd like to do just what you just described. I'd like to talk to 2 or 3 classes and talk about my life experiences and what it is that I did or did not do that got me to the point where I'm at now. Because our scholars need to be able to see real people that look like them and what it is that got them to it. Because think about it. Listen, I talk to my kids till they're blue in the face, right? And I say, you need to do this, you need to do that. But sometimes it takes another person saying the same exact thing that I said, but now it's like, ta-da! Oh, I just heard from this woman, Miss Pierce. She was so great. Her hair looked just like mine, and she was fantastic. And she said that I should go to college or I should start a podcast. Yeah, I've been telling you that for 3 years. But sometimes hearing it from someone else that looks like them can just play huge dividends. And then finally, you talked about the grandmothers. My grandmothers and my aunties. Well, nowadays we're in a little different. Not where we used to be. Grandmothers now work, right? So I'm talking about like great grandmothers and senior aunties, right? Those love, and don't forget the grandfathers and the great grandfathers, right? We need those people to be able to come in also and volunteer in classrooms. And all you might have to do is just listen, just follow along, ask for the lesson plan, read to the students, especially in our lower grades in the K1 and 2, where we really want to reduce the student to teacher ratio. There's nothing better than that. And that's one thing that we're trying to do in District 23 with a grandparents program coming into our schools on a daily basis just to simply read to the children.
Okay, well, count me in. I'm in. So I'm going to be putting out a challenge to my other fellow colleagues to, pretty much do just that. I cannot. I'm there. Like I'm excited to hear that, but I'm there. But I'm gonna help to support that. So you outlined a few very realistic things that we as community members can do. I'm often curious about, um, is there something else
Mhm.
that you would need?
So I'm going to give you a little bit of a story, and I promise you that it's going to make sense. I grew up Bed-Stuy, Putnam between Lewis and Stuyvesant. Matter of fact, my mother still lives there, and so does my brother. And I grew up, I'm an 80s baby,
Mm,
and it was in the midst of the crack epidemic.
wow.
And if you called somebody a crackhead, that was like spitting in somebody's face.
Yeah.
If you called them a crackhead, right? Okay, good. One thing that is plaguing our schools is absenteeism
Mm,
and chronic absenteeism. And what I mean, there's a true definition of chronic absenteeism, and that is scholars that are absent 10% or more of the school year.
yeah.
What I want to get parents to feel like is that if your child is absent from school, that's the worst thing imaginable, right? Like, oh, I want people to talk in the street and say, "Oh, you're chronically absent.
Mm,
Oh my God, your kid don't go to school every day. Your kid doesn't have perfect attendance." That's how I want it to look. And let me tell you why, Anita Pierce. Anita Pierce, I've gone into first grade classrooms or kindergarten, and the teacher is working with them on sounding out words. The word is spelled R-O-B, rob. R-a-b, r-a-b. And they're getting it. And then the teacher then says, okay, well, what happens when you put an E at the end? And it becomes robe. The O sounds different, right? And they're getting it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. But then I whisper to the principal and I say, we have 7 kids absent today. And if that child is absent today, and God forbid they were absent tomorrow, then they're lost. They lost that really simple lesson that could take them from good to great. So what can we do? When you see somebody on the street and you know it's school time between 8 and 2:30, you should ask that parent, where are you going? Why isn't this child in school? I want that to be like the worst thing imaginable for a child not to be in school. And I know, and let me be empathetic. The instance where we have a single mom and they have a 3 and a 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old is sick. So therefore, I can't leave the 3-year-old at home, whatever, or the 5-year-old at home. So therefore, I wind up keeping both children absent. And there's research when we look at attendance to be able to say that parents who have 2 children, they're always absent on the same days. They can't both be sick at the same time, right? So I understand those things. So what we do need to do is there's an answer for that. We need to come together as a community and being able to say, you know what? I know that Miss Davis lives down the street from me and her children go to the same school. I need to call Miss Davis and say, you know what? Can you please take Emily or Leonard to school this morning? Because I don't want them to miss school. So collectively as a community, we need to be able to do that so that our children, because children do get sick, but that doesn't mean that the sibling has to also miss school. So that's a real thing that I am really hard pressed on, because we have all these ideas and instructional routines, whatever. But if children are not in school, they're missing.
That's interesting. And I have a question, or maybe a thought. Um, so has there been an alternative option to minimize attendance, since we have been utilizing computers
Mhm.
to temporarily offset their absence so that they're not missing the lessons?
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, mind you, they're still going to be marked absent. So
Right.
yes, we know how to do online learning.
Right.
Right, we know how to do a Zoom lesson. We know how to do now we have Teams,
Yeah.
and we know how to do how 1175 does it with this Brownsville minute. She's going to the next level, right? Okay, good. Yes, we can do that. We can be able to set up laptops inside the class so that at least the child can be present
Right.
and somehow engaged in the lesson, even if they are at home. So yes, the answer is yes. Now, we have to also make sure that the children have the access to the laptops,
Yep.
have access to the Wi-Fi, right?
Yep.
So that therefore the child can get it. But I still believe there's nothing like the child being present in the school. Now, of course, if they're sick, if they're going to be sick for a long time, then we need to be able to do that and making sure that they have all the necessary technologies in order for the child to be engaged in school.
Agreed. So I'm glad I wanted to put that out there because we come up with a lot of I want to say excuses as to why things can't be, but you did provide that there are alternative solutions. But I also know the importance of the social interaction that is needed specifically as they're growing and developing. That the pandemic COVID taught us the importance of social engagement specifically for our babies. So I want to wrap up our session with just a couple of final thoughts. Again, just really thinking about what does the next year look like for the district,
Mhm.
from in terms of what considered as success in terms of under the vision that you're creating for our scholars.
Mhm. Anita Pierce, I tend to be dramatic. So bear with me. Anita Pierce, my vision for this year in District 23, I'm hoping that you see me on the cover of the New York Post or the New York Times, and they're talking about taking away my license. That New York State has cameras outside of the District 23 building on Park Place. And you're going to call me and say, Dr. Kirkland, is this true? What's going on? And you know why they're going to think about taking away my license? Because our scores in District 23 are going to go through the roof. And they're going to think that we must have cheated. There's no way that they could have done that in Brownsville. There's no way that they could be able to double or triple their scores in just 1 year. And I believe that's true, that we are going to be able to do just that. And I'm really not satisfied with really anything less. I'm that type of person that's always going to think, if we had 99 kids set up and one of them failed, I'm going to want to know, well, what's that kid's name? Like, it's not okay for any child to go ahead and not being able to read or not know their times tables, right? That's what I want. I want it for every kid as if it was my kid that didn't meet the mark. I'm looking for astronomical growth in our district in both reading and in math, to the point where, and we're going to be able to say it, Anita Pierce is going to say, we're going to go back to this day, what's today, February 7th? We're going to say, you know what? He said it was true. He said it was going to happen. And I'm not going to be satisfied with anything less than 100%.
So that means that we got a lot of work to do as a community, right? To be able to help to support those goals that are very realistic, right? Because I think that we shouldn't expect anything less from those who are going to be taking care of us in the future. It's
That's
required.
it.
It's
That's it.
required. So I want to, just do a little bit of what I call one-word questions to wrap up the show completely. They're one word, usually just, fun, just to wrap up the show. So, ready to go?
I'm ready. I'm prepared. I did my homework. I'm ready for you.
What's your favorite borough?
Brooknon.
See, I
Brooknon.
like that.
That was an easy one.
We back on track because I had some other folks I was interviewing. I was like, yeah, I just it's Brooklyn all day,
all day, every day,
all day, every day. So, what do you do in your downtime?
Exercise.
How do you promote self-wellness within yourself?
Prayer.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it. What is the legacy? I know that we started that a little bit early, but what is the legacy that you want to create first within your immediate family and also for the district?
This word has a hyphen, but let's just call it culturally rich.
I like that. Dr. Kirkland, this is awesome. Awesome, awesome. I look forward to having you back on the Brownsville Minute to talk about, we're not going to lose licenses, but I get the idea as to the,
Yes.
to the extreme and passion about what we need to do collectively as a community. So I wanted to just highlight, some of the things that you mentioned. I was typing, hopefully I got it right. To support our teachers and principals by thinking about, dropping off a meal, buy a book for a student, specifically by Brown authors, and offer to read to the students, which I'm actually going to do that because that's, that's a great idea. Participate in a career day like I did recently. Volunteer in classrooms to be able to support the community collectively as a whole. And no, you cannot just go into the school and do it. You have to get permission. These are our children. So I wanted to put that out there. But these are ways that, especially if you're looking to become civically engaged in supporting our young people, this is another way. So I love it. And I also wanted to share, this is, if you want to follow the district and all the phenomenal happenings, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Check out the website. No excuses to be able to support our community because we're on the social platforms anyway, but this is just direct contact for the district. So District 23 is rising. Dr. Kirkland, I want to super thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come and talk to us folks on the Brownsville Minute. We look forward to having you come back again and again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And you're going to have a blessed day today.
I'm planning on it. I'm claiming it.
Good. You got
that's
it.
What I have to do every day. Every day we are doing the work that we believe is important. And so I'm happy to support any way that I can.
Good. Enjoy.
All right. Take good care. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So see, there you have it. No excuses. I'm going to put the information up again. Support our teachers, principals. Make sure that when you're thinking about buying off of the digital platforms, make sure you are able to purchase a book for our students and offer to come and read. You have to make a connection to the school. Can't just run up in there. Just wanted to put that out there. But these are options to be able to help to support our wonderful children and scholars within the community. Also wanted to share District 23's social platform contacts, also the website. Please do not hesitate to like, follow, share. All of the information is there for you to view, like, share, and post. Also, I wanted to just mention that, we are having the Full Circle Business Brunch Experience on April the 23rd. We do have opportunities for you to attend the business brunch. So if you're interested, please do not hesitate. The link is scrolling at the bottom. We would love to have you join us for the Full Circle Business Brunch Experience on Saturday, April the 8th. And so again, I'm just really excited to have had the opportunity to be able to interview Dr. Kirkland. There are ways that we can do our work, do our job within the community. And the opportunity is just as simple as reading and showing our teachers and principals love. That is not a job that is easy. So I want to make sure that you understand that you can do your part by supporting the school and our children that way. And on that note, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join the Brownsville Minute. Please be sure to follow us. We are on 11375. And you can also check out the show on Community Board 16 and other community partners on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. Here's some community announcements. Bye-bye.